Hey guys, John from Perfect Follow Up, and in this video, we'll talk about calendars. So if you use another calendar right now through another system or software, you can continue to use that. But we can also integrate and synchronize with it. And that may be something that you want to do. As you're generating leads, you may want to forward them to book an appointment with you. This could be just for a free analysis, or it could be a qualification call. You could be scheduling an appointment for an on-site visit, a trip into your store, whatever it might be. We do have a full calendar system built into our Perfect Follow-Up system here. But you got to set it up first, right? So let me give you an example of how to set up your calendar. And to get there, while you're in the calendar screen, you can click on calendar settings. But let's just step back for a minute and pretend you don't have a calendar at all, right? We give you one, but you can create more or something different. So go down to settings at your bottom left of the screen, click on calendars, and you can create a new calendar or edit the one that we have. Let's just start new, okay? So new calendar. First thing you want to do is name this. Let's say this is a free inspection call. You're going to give a link to people and say, if you want a free inspection, click this link to request a time, and then we'll call back and confirm that time is open. Or if you integrate this with your other calendar systems, you can actually synchronize them and just auto confirm on the spot, because you'll know, right? You'll know that you're available. You can put a description in the calendar if you so desire. When someone actually books an appointment, you can create a title. By default, it's going to be their name, but if you want to type in something here to add to it, you can do something like that. So it'll be free inspection, and then the contact's name. You can use this information. You can put different tags in for date, time, service. Sky's the limit. Meeting location, if you're integrating with things like Google Workspace, G Suite is what they used to call it, you can use Google to actually make a meeting, a virtual meeting. Or if you use things like Zoom, you can put in the Zoom link here. So this is where you're going to meet. Again, if this is a free inspection, it's probably going to be on site, right? On site at customer's, house. Now, the event color, again, I'll leave that to you. If we are linking to other calendars, they'll be listed here. At this time, I didn't personally do the Google integration yet, so that's why I don't have any calendars to choose from, but that's where you would do it. Sync option, what I recommend is just to disable the trigger. It will synchronize your Perfect Follow-Up calendar with a third-party calendar, but it won't fire what we call triggers into campaigns. More on this later, but just to play it safe, just put disable trigger. Trust me. I'll give you a quick example. If you're in your Google Calendar and you put in little Timmy's softball practice, it'll synchronize with Perfect Follow-Up in our calendar, and then we might be sending little Timmy text messages and emails about a home service product, right? So not what we want. So disable trigger works most of the time, what I recommend. Next is going to be the availability. So you want to set your slot duration. This is the amount of time that you expect to be on that call, on site with that customer, doing your thing. So set how long you want the slot time to be. And then when they're actually booking a time, this is the interval. So depending on how you set this up, their options for booking would be 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. But if you set it to say 30 minutes, it would be 12:30, 1, 1:32. I think you get the idea, right? So how do you want to space out the slot intervals is configured here. And then you can even buffer duration between appointments. If you figure between your appointments, it's going to take you on average of 20 minutes or 40 minutes to drive, then you can space out when people can book an appointment before or after something already in the schedule. If you have multiple technicians or multiple people servicing things, you can book multiple appointments per slot. If you have one person in this role, then of course keep it as one so they don't double or triple book themselves, and then even limit how many appointments per day. Scheduling notice gives you a little bit of buffer for the future. So if you need some time to prepare, you can say, hey, today's Tuesday. If someone schedules an appointment, don't let them schedule until it's tomorrow or the day after, or even a week from now, whatever you desire. Even a date range, if that suits your business use case as well. And then, of course, your office hours, between the day, the time, you can schedule that accordingly as well. The last thing is your confirmation. So we'll get into forms in another video, but the form that they fill out with name, email, phone number is pretty standard. But we also have some other forms that collect things like their address or, where things should be located on a house that you're inspecting. Whatever questions you need to gather, whatever information you need, you can configure a custom form for them to fill out too. Notifications, you can put in email addresses of where you'd like to get it notified when appointments are scheduled, rescheduled, or canceled. You can allow those types of events as well, and we'll provide them links so it's nice and easy for them to do that. Facebook pixels, if you're marketing on Facebook, you can pixel the appointment setter as well to retarget them with ads and do some other stuff. It's kind of out of scope for this video, but we do allow that to be done. And then if you're a coder, you can custom code with CSS this whole workflow as well. 9 times out of 10, it really does a great job by itself as a default. And then what happens after they book the appointment and they fill out the form, you can redirect them to a different website, a different page, maybe your website itself, or you can just create a simple thank you message letting them know we've received your appointment request, we received your information, and here's what to expect. What I like to do is give them a checklist to have the best experience based on what you're providing them. So here are 3 things that you can do to prepare for our meeting, for our call, for our inspection. Here are some things that you don't want to do. Here's how to get the best experience. So definitely utilize the thank you message. If it's a simple message or you redirect them maybe to a video, to a YouTube video where you're explaining what they should expect and what they have to do next. Always complete that loop to give them the best expectations, and that'll give you the best conversion rate for your show-ups as well. So that is how you complete and create your calendars. If you ever need to go back into your calendar and do any editing, again, settings, calendars, and then just select these buttons here, and you're back in the wizard.